Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is qualifying ahead of the 2024 Qatar Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan as well, please do get yourself subscribed and drop me a like as well. It helps the channel get noticed. And only 2 races to go in the 2024 World Championship in Formula 1, Qatar and Abu Dhabi next weekend, and then that is it until the 16th of March when we line up in Australia with Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the grid, and that is who I'll be supporting next year. So we're going full fan channel for 2025, so it's changing up. We're changing it up next year. But it's going to be good. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be more, you're going to get more emotions on both sides of the field because, like I said yesterday, right now, whoever wins, it's chilling. Whoever crashes, it's chilling. Whoever does what, is kind of chilling. Next year, it's going to be a little bit different. Someone rams Antonelli off at turn 1. You know what I mean? I'm on the Antonelli bandwagon before it's even been built. I'm on the hype train in first class. So we're having it. We're having it next year. It's completely different next year. And also, if you was in yesterday as well, you'll know I'm experimenting with the layout as well, trying a new live timing system from F1 Dash. So big ups to your man whoever made that. But yeah, it looks a bit more premium, looks a bit cleaner. So we'll see how we go, messing about with the layouts, experimenting for 2025. So we'll see, we'll see. But yes, Kim, Ernesto, Beth, how are we doing? Not right now, but I might have a couple later. Yeah, might have a bit on a twitchy one, but not till 6 o'clock in the morning. I might have a couple of hours. But yes, how are we doing, guys? Anto's in as well. I'm good, mate. How are you? Did anybody see the sprint at 2 o'clock this afternoon? I saw bits of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing, but I saw bits of it. And I'm telling you now, that is a big statement from McLaren, what they did there. I don't know if any of you saw the sprint at 2 o'clock this afternoon, but it was a McLaren 1-2, and Lando Norris give Piastri the win across the line as well. Lando Norris let Piastri win it as well, which is... Now, usually I don't like things like that. Generally, I'm against stuff like that, like, what you're doing. But in that scenario, it was actually a bit of a power move from McLaren. And you know what? I saw it. I saw that, and I thought, it's good teamwork, that. It's good because Norris owed him one, I think from Sao Paulo sprint, or... Yeah, I think in Brazil, Piastri gave Norris the win because Norris was still in the hunt for the driver's title in that scenario. Now that Norris is not, he's give one back to Piastri, so they're even. And I thought him doing that, because really, in Formula 1, you've got to be a bit selfish, you've got to be ruthless, and you know that's how it is 99.9% of the time. It's selfish, it's ruthless. But you know what? I actually rate that from Lando Norris, him letting Piastri win it this afternoon. And I thought, do you know what? This is actually a massive statement of intent from McLaren. A lot of other people would have seen that and gone, oh, he's let him win it. Right, anyway, move on with your day. What's next? But for me, I thought, ooh, that's a good teamwork, that. That's a good... It shows that there's harmony at McLaren. It shows that they're both at the front. You know, it's not like Red Bull where one's at the front and one's qualifying 16th. They're both at the front. They're getting on well. I just feel like it's a bit of a statement of intent for next year, that. I feel like you give McLaren a quick car next season. Is that the best driver pairing on the grid? I mean, we'll see about Lewis Hamilton's... you know, his motivation's got to be ramped up, because you'd think on paper Leclerc, Hamilton's a hell of a driver lineup, but right now Hamilton's off it. So you just got to be looking at McLaren and thinking, that is one mighty driver lineup, that. And if they're both at the front, and they can, if you're in a position where you can move over and let your teammate win, you're doing all right. You're dominating. And yeah, it was close. They were all in a line. I think the top 5 or 6 were separated by like 3 or 4 seconds. Like it was nose to tail the sprint. But that move from Norris, letting Piastri win it, it showed to me that McLaren might just be a hell of a force next season. If they're getting on well and they've got a strong car next year, that could be some kind of an outfit to beat. That could be an outfit to beat. And Red Bull have got to look at that as well and think, could we ever be in a position to do that with Verstappen and Perez? Bar Abu Dhabi 21, where Perez did help out Verstappen by holding up Hamilton, that's not been the case. Perez has not been a team player and cannot be a beneficiary to Max Verstappen in any way, shape or form. And that's been the case for the last 3 or 4 years. So if McLaren can produce a strong car and all of a sudden next year they play in the team game as opposed to one holds Verstappen up while the other wins, and then the weekend after the other one holds, and they work as a team 2v1, that could be a hell of an outfit to beat. So it showed a bit of class, domination and phenomenal teamwork that to pull that kind of a situation off. And big ups to him. And I tell you what, Zach Brown was smiling on the pit wall, and I was thinking, that might just be a hell of a team, that, given another season next year. I think McLaren are on the brink of something special. And obviously going for the Constructors' Championship this year as well, which they'll probably win. I know Ferrari are, 20 points behind or something like that. So it's, well, mind you, they just got another 15, so the gap might be about 30 points now. So McLaren are looking to win the Constructors' Championship this year, and Red Bull cannot afford to keep Perez when McLaren are playing games like that. McLaren are showing that they're a strong pair. Red Bull are a one-man team. That might not be good enough next year. It might not be good enough. Anyway, that was just my thoughts on the sprint. I thought it showed it was a bigger moment than what we think it is. That it was a bigger moment. It was a moment that opened my eyes to think, yeah, you know what? Give them a quick car again next year and 2v1 against Verstappen. They might be able to pull it off. Because if they're getting along that well, where they're giving each other wins when and where they can, it was a statement, I think. But yeah, what we saying? Yeah, bro. Yeah, you'll jump on, have a few. Yeah, I can't be on late. Yeah, me neither. I can't be on till like 5, 6 in the morning, Beth. But I'll have a few. Norris to Red Bull madness. No, I won't. No, them two are signed up for the long term, Anto. In fact, that's the only driver pairing that is sort of nailed on for the next few years, I'd say. We're looking at, you could fast forward 5 years, and I think it'd still be Norris and Piastri at McLaren. If we suddenly time travel now to the year 2029, I think it's still Norris and Piastri at McLaren with a few titles behind them. Do you know what I mean? I think that is the only solid driver lineup on the grid. Everything else is open to change. You know, Lewis ain't going to last forever. Alonso's not going to last forever at Aston. Everybody else is musical chairs mode. But McLaren is set up for the next 5 years, I feel like. I don't know how long both of their contracts are, but it's definitely for the next 2 or 3 years. The thing as well, are you really going to go to Red Bull alongside Verstappen? You've got to really back yourself. Even if Norris got the chance to be Verstappen's teammate, would he do it anyway? Maybe not. Maybe the only way you beat Verstappen is in a different car that's faster than his. That sounds like sort of a give-up mentality, but that is the harsh reality of it. Are you beating Verstappen in the same machinery? Is anybody in the world beating Verstappen in the same machinery? Probably not. Let's face facts. Probably not. But yes, as I say, welcome in, Anto. Vilmar, boa tarde. What's that? Good afternoon. I know in Spanish, good afternoon is buenas tardes. So it's similar. So I reckon you've said good afternoon. So good afternoon to you, mate. Hey, Vilmar, I don't know if you can understand me, but if you get yourself in live chat tomorrow, come back. Come back tomorrow at 4 p.m. and you'll get yourself in a virtual 2-hour race. We could do with a debut driver. We could do with a new name on the grid. So Vilmar, get yourself in 4 p.m. tomorrow UK time for the Qatar Grand Prix. And guess what? You'll be part of this channel and you get a shout out every single time I update the driver standings, which is only a couple more races left. But your name will be in the list. So get yourself in tomorrow. But welcome to the stream all the same. Where's Denver? That's a very good question, Anto. I'm not going to spill any beans on that front. Where is Denver? Is he in Patalung? My lips are sealed. But yes, Ernesto, how are you, bro? I'm good, mate. Hope you're good as well. Right, we're getting underway. We're underway for qualifying. The second qualifying session and the second qualifying stream of the weekend. Because sprint weekend, we love them, don't we? It's not for me a sprint weekend, all truth be told, but if there's a Formula One car on circuit, I'm watching it. So they've got me by the bollocks, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? They could run every race in reverse at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you know what I mean? And all racing in go-karts. Guess who's watching it? Me. So they've got me by the bollocks. They can do what they want. So they're doing sprint races. This is a new fad. I don't like it. I hope eventually they bin it off, but it is what it is. And so here we are. It's a sprint weekend. But the sprint part of it's been done, shelved, finished, over. We've also got like sector times and stuff, bloody hell. It's a data-driven stream now, isn't it? Jesus. Good grief. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so it's a sprint race weekend, but the sprint part of it's been done. So now we're on to what normally would happen of an everyday Grand Prix weekend. We've got qualifying now, and we've got the Grand Prix tomorrow. It's nice and simple from now on. So let's set the grid. 18-minute session for Q1. We've got the timer as well at the top, counting down. So as you can see, 14 and a half minutes to go in Q1, at the end of which the slowest 5 will be knocked out and the top 15 will go through to Q2. That'll be a 15-minute session, at the end of which the slowest 5 will be knocked out, and then the top 10, go through to Q3, which is a 12-minute session, at the end of which pole position will be decided as well as the top 10. So do stay tuned because it does ramp up as it goes on. So this is all about just getting rid of the slowest 5. I tell you what, if Perez is in this bottom 5 again, drop him tonight. Drop him tonight. Sack him tonight. If Perez is knocked out in Q1 here, Perez out tonight. I'm done with it. I had a bit of a rant yesterday, but I'm done with... to be honest, I'm done with Sergio Perez. It's finished. It's over. I'm done with it. It's pissing me off now. The fact that he's still clinging onto that seat is it's rubbing me up the wrong way now that Perez is still can underperform for this long and get away with it. All right, you could say the same for Lance Stroll, but Lance Stroll's not in a championship winning car. So it doesn't stand out as much. But when you're in a championship winning car and you're getting knocked out in Q1 every week, and then you're recovering from 16th on the grid and finishing 9th, it's time to go. It's time to go, Sergio. It's over. Verstappen's gone purple first 2 sectors, so he should jump to the top of the times. Norris goes fastest at the minute, then on a 22 flat. And Verstappen does go quickest then by 0.3 of a second. A 1:21.7 from Max Verstappen knocks Norris down to second. Stroll up there in third at the moment, but some 0.6 off the pace. No doubt that time will be beaten by more than one driver. Leclerc, then Alonso, Perez, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Bottas and Zhou both in the top 10 at the moment, but early days in Q1, so all to play for. Here comes Piastri then round the final corner and across the line and jumps up to third. The winner, of course, Piastri, this afternoon in the sprint. He was gifted the win by Lando Norris across the line. It was like shades of like Michael Schumacher and Barrichello in like 2002. Austria. Get your history books out, ladies and gentlemen. Russell purple, sector 1. Has anyone seen the interview from Lewis Hamilton saying, "I'm just not fast anymore"? I was like, bro. I was like, dude. You know, they interviewed Lewis Hamilton after sprint quali last night. And he's like, you know, and they're like, you know, what's wrong with it? What's wrong with the car? How, you know, why are you struggling? I'm just not fast anymore. I'm like, bro, you pick yourself up. You're putting red overalls on in a month. I tell you what, Lewis Hamilton better pick himself up mentally by next March. I don't want to see him washed up. Come on, Lewis. I supported Lewis for about 15 years. And then when he won his 7th championship in Turkey, I drew a line under it then. When Hamilton won his 7th championship in Turkey 2020, I said, that's it, journey done. He's the most successful driver of all time. I can't emotionally, it's done. The journey's over. And then I went neutral for a few years. Next year, it's Antonelli. Well, I did, in fact, that's a lie. I didn't go neutral for a few years. I went Mick Schumacher. I went for Mick Schumacher. That was the biggest fumble I've ever had. And I've had a few. That was the biggest fumble I've ever had, that. Thinking Mick Schumacher were next big thing. I hope this could happen with Antonelli. And Antonelli finishes 19th in the first race. And I'm there, oh my God, I've backed the wrong horse here. I mean, Behrman on the podium. Lawson up there, top 6. But you have to take risks in life, and I'm going all in on Antonelli. But anyway, Russell's gone quickest at the moment, then a 21.5. Norris goes across the line and goes up to second then with the fastest of anybody final sector. Alonso's gone fastest of anybody in the first sector on this latest lap. 9 minutes to go in Q1. Bottom 5 is Zhou, Lawson, Colapinto, Ocon and Gasly, who've not even got out there on track yet, I don't think. Oh, they are out on track now, but they've not completed a representative lap time. Is it not 4-0 to Arsenal already? They only kicked off. It's not even half time. It's not 4-0 already, is it? It's not even half time yet. They only kicked off at half-5, didn't they? It's Jamser on it. Jamser's on it. Oh my God, it's 4-1. What? 5 goals in the first half. Anyway, back to the sport that we're here to talk about. That's a shocking. That's an unbelievable first half. Anyway, Gasly. What are we saying? Pierre Gasly. In the pink liveried Alpine once again. So at the top, so Alonso's gone third. Okay. Alonso. So yeah, in the elimination zone, bottom 5, both Hasses, Zhou, Colapinto, and Ocon. They're the ones who are becoming increasingly under pressure as the time ticks down in Q1. Replay on board with Kevin Magnussen, and loses a rear end and has to go off the circuit to catch it. He's recovered it, but got to go again. Leclerc warming up for a lap. He's P11 at the moment. Gasly's gone to P5. Not bad at all. But Ocon bottled it and is 1.6 seconds off the pace in last. Nico Hülkenberg crosses the line. Go on. Oh, he's starting his lap now. Come on then, let's have an onboard lap with Nico Hülkenberg. I don't know this circuit either. The only 2 tracks I don't know is Vegas and Qatar. The rest of them, I could draw them. I could draw them my eyes closed and get it bang on. But Vegas and Qatar, I don't really know the layout. I mean, I know I've got the track map and all that and all the rest of it, but I don't really know it from Adam. Is it a good track, Qatar? Is Vegas a good track? I feel like Vegas wants editing, really. I mean, is this a great track for overtaking? No. I think the only opportunity to overtake round here, it's a fast circuit, so it's probably good to drive. You know what I mean? Probably in qualifying, it feels great, but as a racing spectacle, Qatar, not for me, mate. I think the only chance you've got is down to turn 1, and even that's like you have half a look, but you don't really go for it unless you're a lot quicker or you just go full send. But I mean, from what I've seen of Qatar, from I think it did 2022, then they missed. How did it go? Yeah, they did 2022, then they missed 23, then they come back. No. They did 2021, then missed 22, then did 23. And now 24. Doesn't matter, but. Sainz has gone second then, so it's Russell, Sainz, Norris, top 3. Smooth operator. I don't know what all these sector times are here. Hulkenberg, Magnussen. I don't know what that is, but there's a lot of numbers on stream right now. Don't let it boggle your brain. I'm testing things out. Listen, there could always be more numbers if you want. Look at this. Look at state of this. We can have more numbers. We can have every number in the world. Data driven, mate. Data driven is Formula 1, isn't it? It's a bit much, isn't it? But listen, you've got to experiment. You've got to experiment. I've got 4 months to get ready for 2025 and then Antonelli's settings, so you've got to have a look. The Kick Saubers are out there now. Stake F1 team. I wonder if Kick, Stake, whatever are sponsoring him for next year as well. Because if you don't know, Kick, Stake, Sauber, or whatever, however you say it, they're being taken over by Audi for 2026. So that becomes an Audi Works team. But I don't know what's happening next year. I think next year is like a bit of a transitional period where they're not Audi yet, but as the Kick Sauber sponsorship come to an end, as the Kick Stake sponsorship comes to an end, I don't know. Maybe they're just Sauber for a year and then Audi. I don't know. I have to Google that. Oh, Sean Tan, help me out. So Russell's gone faster again. So it's now Russell, Sainz, Norris. Verstappen's gone fourth as well. So only 2 minutes to go now in Q1. So we start to look at that bottom five now. Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Albon, Colapinto, and Ocon, who's still not got a lap together and is 1.8 seconds off the pace. Ooh, Norris is on it. Green sector 1 and 2 for Lando Norris. Round the final corner he comes then. And to the line. Can he go fastest of all? Goes second. So leapfrogs Carlos Sainz. He should be safe with that. I'll definitely be safe with that. Perez is 12th at the moment. That's going to be risky. That's going to be touch and go. He's going to want to improve to be certain to get through to Q2. Colapinto now on a lap and he's under pressure as well down in P19 at the moment. Sainz goes second then. So Sainz repasses Norris on the timing screens for P2. Russell's lap time still standing strong at the top there. 121.3. They can't get near it. But here we are then on board with Franco Colapinto. Come on, Barry. How we doing, Barry? Hey, Barry, I'm going to do a video of all the crashes that I've had in the Viewers' Championship this year. All condensed into one video. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It'd be like a half-an-hour video of me fucking it up. It's going to be an absolute nightmare to edit that for 28 views. It's not worth it, but I feel like it'll be quite funny, so I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah. When it gets to the end, Barry, and you've watched me spin 58 times, rewatch it, get another view going. Because it's going to be a lot of editing, but I'm going to do it because it's funny, innit? It's funny. I tell you what, it's a video in itself, all the mistakes I made at the last round. Anyway, how are we doing here? Here goes Sergio Perez across the line. Goes P8. So Perez will be through with that. Perez will be through with that. Colapinto and Ocon are both out. Bottas goes to 11th. So he should get through with that. Valtteri Bottas. Go on. Bottas is through here. But Colapinto and Ocon done for. It's all about the RBs. It's about the RBs. What are we doing here? Lawson and Tsunoda. Can one of them get through? Oh, Lawson's out. What can Tsunoda do? Go on, Yuki lad. Bang. Oh, he's just on the... By the skin of his teeth, I think Yuki Tsunoda's going to get through. Russell does a 21-2 and goes to the top. Pierre Gasly. P10. Right, so knocked out in Q1. Alexander Albon, Liam Lawson, Nico Hülkenberg, Franco Colapinto, and Esteban Ocon. So Tsunoda through by the skin of his teeth. Well, when I say skin of his teeth as well, I'm talking about 26 1,000ths of a second. Tsunoda's through. Both Saubers are through. Zhou's through in 14th. How many times does Zhou get out of Q1? Not many times. Stroll's through as well. Stroll and Zhou both through. Hülkenberg out. Ocon out. Both Williams out. Liam Lawson out. So, but both Saubers are in. Magnussen's through. Stroll's through. Obviously, the big guns are all through. So, no big sort of... no big scalp in Q1 then. Perez safer now. In fact, there wasn't a bad lap from Perez in the end, P8. he's gone quicker than Piastri, so I can't be slating him at this moment in time. The only thing about the new setup is the green for Bottom Joe is super bright compared to everything else. What can you do? What can you do? Viewers Championship, you've had more spins and crashes, light taps. Oh, just a scratch, yeah. Smash into the wall, 150 mile an hour. Oh, I'm fine. I just smashed headlight, and I'm nothing doing. Oh, there's been a few. There's been a few. I've been looking back through, man, because I want to do this video of all the highlights, all the lowlights, and so I've been looking back through, and it's like, what is going on? It was worse. About midway through the season as well, I switched from the Porsche to the Ferrari. It was much worse with the Porsche. Once I was in Ferrari, it's been pretty solid until we got that wet race last time, and that was an absolute disaster, that. But it was always going to be, wasn't it? It was always going to be. I was 38 laps down in a 50 lap race. I was 38 laps down. I did all right. No, do you know what happened? Do you know what happened in that? I got disqualified about, I think it was before halfway through. I think I got disqualified about a third of the way into it. But I stayed out anyway. I was like, such disqualification. I'm carrying on driving. And then I pitted. Then towards the end, I pitted for new tyres. And I was running low on fuel. And tyres were shot. I go into the pits. And the pit crew just stood there and looked at me and went, nah, you've made your bed now, lie in it. You've been disqualified. You think you're going to come into the pits and we're going to give you 4 new tyres and a full tank of fuel? Think again. So they did nothing. So then I had to go around for the last 20 minutes on tyres that were absolutely done, with a fuel tank that was struggling. It was a mess. But it's going to make for some funny highlight clips, if you like. Lap 21. Lap 21, but the thing is, Dougie, the race is like, because it's 2 hours, the race is like 60 laps or something, 50-something laps. So being disqualified on lap 21 is like a third race distance. Yeah, it was a shocker. It was a shocker. I'm not doing wet race again. You sling your wet race. It's gonna be Nürburgring, but I'm not talking Nordschleife Nürburgring with 150 corners. I'm talking Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, which is no longer on the calendar. But if you know, you know. I do Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit because I've not done that on the Viewers Championship yet, and it's a track that I own, and Qatar isn't in the sim. And then the finale, I want to do at Mount Panorama. That's going to be bouncing off the walls settings if I do Mount Panorama. But I've always wanted to do, I've never done a proper race on the sim round Mount Panorama. Now, I know about it. I know it. But I've never committed to it. I'm scared of it. And because I'm scared of Mount Panorama, that's why I've got to do it. You've got to face it. But I'll be bouncing off the walls coming down that mountain. I'll be bouncing off the walls, but I've decided that's going to be the finale, so I've got to stick to my guns on it. 2 hours of Mount Panorama is going to be brutal. But gotta do it, haven't you? Hey, you want to see tracks that you haven't raced on? Will you buy me the track then, Barry? Because each track costs about 15 quid. So I'm already about 300 quid deep into the season. You know what I mean? So when and where I can not buy a track and use a track that I've already got, I will do. Because I've but the benefit of that is next season's on for free. Next season's on for free. Because guess what? I've fucking bought them all now, haven't I? I don't have to buy nothing next season. It's cigar, slippers, and one of these next year. I'm chilling. I've spent all of. I mean, the DLC is through the roof. iRacing are loving me. iRacing are like that. Oh, this guy, he doesn't even race online. He buys a new circuit every week. Woohoo! What? He never races online? What? He just races against the computer? Yeah. Well, what? He buys a new circuit every week? Yeah. Woohoo! They love me. It's 15 quid a week. I can get in there, lad. iRacing see me coming and put the red carpet out. Do you know what I mean? Red carpet settings for me. And I've had to buy a load of cars as well. Expensive sim racing. On a real, it is an expensive hobby, actually. I could have bought a real car by the time I've... Bloody hell. But, like I say, next season, I have to buy nothing. The best customer ever. I know. I don't even use iRacing for its actual purpose, which is to race other people. I race a computer and change the names to you lot. Listen, online though, it's savagery. Online's brutal because everyone's a dirty... Everyone thinks they're Max Verstappen. So everybody's shoving and pushing and then if God forbid you overtake someone, then you're getting absolutely slammed at the next braking zone. And it just becomes this... I mean, unless you're in like a proper organised event where it's like taken seriously, unless you're in like a proper like team, if you're in the club, do you know what I mean? If you're in the club, but if you're just in random lobbies, mate, you're talking, everyone thinks they're Verstappen, and so it's carnage. Yes, Suede, welcome in, bro. Not seen you for a few weeks. What was we saying? 5-2 at half time. I'll get onto quali in a minute. We're back underway for Q2. Weather settings should be on random. I know, but then it's going to be rain like half the time. Imagine that. It's good as a one-off. I did enjoy some parts of that race, actually, because it was a lot more of a challenge. And when I actually concentrated and focused, I did okay. But it's too much, man. It's difficulty 99. It's already hard enough in the dry to have a clean race for 2 hours. In the wet, it's nuts. Anyway, Norris has gone purple set to 1. Yes, Wade, what's up? I'm good, mate. What do you think of Max driving in Indian IMSA car? I think he should do it. I think Red Bull should let him do the 24, what's it called? The Rolex 24 at Daytona. They should let him do that if he wants to do it. And they should let him do Le Mans. I wonder if Le Mans clashes with a Grand Prix next season. If not, they should let him do a bit. They should let him do a bit. Because I think he's going to do that eventually later on in his career anyway. So why not just let him sort of get that out of his system and like say, all right, do a bit of sports car racing, but sign up for us for the next 10 years, please. We'll let you do Le Mans. We'll let you do a few endurance races. Sign on for 15 years, will you? So they should let him do that. Imagine like midway through a championship campaign, he goes and wins Le Mans and then comes back. Hulkenberg's won Le Mans, hasn't he? You know that, Swade, if you're into endurance racing. Has Nico Hulkenberg won Le Mans? I think he has, hasn't he? In like 2015, 2016. With Porsche. With Mark Webber and Stephen Tandy. Maybe. You think he'll look it up? I think Nico Hulkenberg's won Le Mans, yeah. Anyway, I've been on a waffle thing here. I'm not even talking about what's going on. So you've got 9.5 minutes to go. Verstappen, it's like a chill out stream, isn't it? Supposed to be on the commentary. Who's driving Max's car's next race? Who's driving Max's car next race, and should Perez be worried? Or is it a kick up the arse? Is Hadjar getting a practice session? I don't know. Yeah, in 91, eh? We talk about he didn't win Le Mans in 91. Nico Hulkenberg, he's probably only about 5-year-old. I'll tell you, he did win it in 91. Johnny Herbert. I know the car that won Le Mans in 91. Mazda 787B. Johnny Herbert. Come on, then. Next question. Anyway, what's happening on track today, right now? Max 8 in the next race? Are you pulling my leg? What do you mean, who's driving Max's car next race? Do you mean in a practice session? I feel like that's big news that I'd know about if that was true. Surely. They'd be talking about it all. No, he won't miss a race, man. You might be talking about a post-season test in Abu Dhabi, because after the race in Abu Dhabi, they do a couple of days of testing. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 days after the race, and Tsunoda is going to get a go in the Red Bull for a day after the season's finished. I don't know if you're getting it mixed up with that. But Verstappen missing the final race and someone else getting his car is not something I've ever heard about, and not something that's probably ever happened before. I don't think that's... If you're right, then, I mean, knock me down with a feather. I can't believe it, but... Max or whatever should be able to race different stuff, but it comes down to how fast and advertising and sponsorship. No, do you know what it comes down to? It's about... Well, yeah, there is a bit of that involved, a bit of money and sponsorship, and how did he's suddenly driving for Porsche, how did they figure that out in the... Do you know what I mean? Because he represents a certain brand, and then all of a sudden you're jumping in a Corvette, and it's like, ooh, Corvette? What have they got to do with it? Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So there is a clash of, like, brand, but it's more about in Formula One, the drivers are, like, protected in a way. There's certain things you can't do as a Formula One driver that counts as, like, putting yourself in jeopardy. Like, you can't just do a rally event. If you're a Formula One driver, you can't just jump in a rally car and do a rally, because it's deemed as, like, unnecessary danger. That's probably not how it's worded, but you get my point. It's like unnecessary danger that so you're not allowed to do stuff like that. So that'll be why. It'll be about that, worded differently, but that. As well as the sponsorship and the money, and then it's a clash of, like, you know, what car company you're representing and all the rest of it. There's a lot of hoops and a lot of... Anyway, let's get back to it. It's 5 minutes to go in Q2. This just been a general chit-chat, hasn't it? F1 chit-chat on a Saturday afternoon. There is a session going on, by the way. I've disregarded that for the last 10 minutes. But Russell goes fastest at 121 flat. 1/1000th faster than Max Verstappen. Oh, you could put a cigarette paper between them. Hamilton only 9th. So now with 5 minutes to go, you start looking at the bottom 5 then. Bottas, Zhou, Tsunoda, Stroll and Alonso in the elimination zone. Leclerc crosses the line now and goes 3rd. Decent. Wow, yeah, there's less than half a tenth between the top four. That is extremely close. In fact, the sprint race, I saw a bit of the sprint race before. There was hardly any spread. What do they call it? Track spread or something. There were virtually all the entire grid was nose to tail for 19 laps in that sprint. I'd never seen anything like it. Field spread, it's called. I think there was no field spread at all in that sprint. It was literally a line of cars nose to tail for 19 laps. I was looking at the thing because I had it on my phone, and I was like, "Hey," and I think it's partly to do with Norris didn't want to just gun away at the front because he wanted Piastri to have the DRS behind him. So Norris was controlling his pace. He could have probably gone a little bit quicker. So because Norris was holding back, it was then causing a 20-car train. It was actually mad. I doubt it'd be like that in a 50-odd lap race tomorrow, but you never know. I think it's literally like 20 seconds between first and last, which is unbelievable. You've been lurking, lurker. I know, because I'm clashing with the football in it, so it's always going to be a tricky one. What time? I mean, I don't like to talk about football, but what time's Man City Liverpool tomorrow? Is it the 4 o'clock one or is it the 2 o'clock one? Which slot is it? Because I'd prefer new slot. which slot is that? Because if it's Man City Liverpool at 4 p.m, rip at the Qatar Grand Prix. R.I.P. for this stream. You know what I mean? Whereas if it's a 2 o'clock slot, people can watch Man City Liverpool, bang, Qatar Grand Prix. You know what I mean? Ooh, it works. But it's not going to be that, is it? It's going to be the 4 p.m. game. I know it is. And it's... And not just for me, worldwide Formula One viewing figures. If it was a stock trading graph. Not good, Brev. You can't be clashing with the biggest game of the season. Anyway, 1:40 to go in Q2. Bottom 5, Bottas, Show, Tsunoda, Stroll and Alonso. So both Saubers in the danger zone. Both. Got me thinking of Top Gun then. Both Saubers in the danger zone. Both Aston Martins in the danger zone. Yuki Tsunoda down there as well. What are you making today? Oh, wow, what are you on? Are you on a cooking thing? Who cares? Both are shite. For what? Oh, Man City, Liverpool. As a neutral, on paper, it does seem like an interesting game, though. But anyway. It's 4 o'clock. Of course it would be. Guess what time this kicks off tomorrow, Kim? Guess what time the Grand Prix starts tomorrow? You guessed it. 4 p.m. Savage. It is what it is. Every now and then you're going to clap. It is what it is. Par for the course. He jams the singing away to Northland. What score is it? Like 5-1 at half time or something like that, someone said. What a mad game that is. Anyway, I've been so sidetracked here. It's just been an absolute chit-chat, this. There's a side note for 2025. Focus on what's going on. Actually give information for people that are not watching it. You know what I mean? Anyway, Magnus has gone purple middle sector. If Magnussen goes top now, it's an absolute joke. Oh, he's gone P6 though. Magnussen will get through with that, maybe. I hope he does get through. Oh, Zhou Guanyu's out. Zhou's 11th and definitely out. Magnussen might get through. This is unbelievable. Considering Hulkenberg knocked out in Q1. It was Hulkenberg 18th on the grid. Magnussen's in the top 10. Pierre Gasly only P8. That's going to be a struggle. Bottas is definitely out as well. Stroll's definitely out. Leclerc goes second. So Zhou eliminated, Bottas eliminated, Stroll eliminated. Where's Alonso and Tsunoda then? They're the important ones. Sainz goes 6th. Perez could get through. Verstappen's... Oh, Alonso's gone 7th. Perez is under pressure. Hamilton goes 5th. Perez is P10. Where's Tsunoda? What's Tsunoda doing? Perez might just scrape it. Verstappen's going to go fastest of anybody, surely, and does, by 3/10. Perez is in the pits, so it's about Tsunoda. Has he got away with it? Has Perez got away with it? Because Tsunoda's not completed the lap. He has. Wow, Perez has got through. Verstappen's gone quickest, so eliminated at the end of Q2. Then Pierre Gasly, Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, Yuki Tsunoda, and Lance Stroll all eliminated. Top 10 that go through to the pole position shootout for the Qatar Grand Prix is Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Hamilton, Piastri, Sainz, Alonso, Magnussen, and Perez. Big ups Kevin Magnussen in his penultimate Grand Prix weekend of his Formula One career. He's still got it, never lose it. Go on, Kevin. I always quite like Kevin because, do you know what? Kevin, throughout his career, he has given it his all. He's raced hard. Kevin Magnussen has raced how I would hope that I would race. Ruthlessly. And so I have to respect Kevin Magnussen because whilst a lot of the time it's over the limit, and he's broke the law more times than I don't know. He's broke the law a lot. He's been on the wrong side of it a lot, and even had a race ban. But I do have to respect Kevin Magnussen because there's a lot of people that, without naming it, there's a lot of people that turn up to Formula One. They're anonymous for 3 or 4 years and then they're gone again. And they might not cause any damage or any controversy or any issues with anybody. But they're not remembered in any way. And yeah, they might finish 15th and then 17th and then 16th and then 12th and then 18th and then get dropped. But Kevin Magnussen gives it a good hard go. And so respect to him for that. And it's a shame, but he's not got a seat for next year. And that is probably it for Kevin Magnussen in Formula One. Now, he'd probably get a good career in endurance racing or something. And like his dad, Jan Magnussen, big in GT racing. So he might go and join his dad. I don't know if his dad's still racing, but I'd expect Kevin to go over to GT racing and tear it up, man. And then I tell you what, in a GT car, which is like the cars we race, basically the cars we race in the Viewers Championship, is the kind of car that I expect Kevin Magnussen to be in. And I tell you what, you can push and shove in them. I mean, you can't push and shoving in Formula One. You cause £1 million worth of damage, and you're both in the wall. But when you're in a GT car, you can give it a bit of elbows out. So maybe that's a sport for him anyway. You're not interested in that game? What, Arsenal, City Liverpool? 5-2. What? The West Ham comeback is on. Focus on next year. Tell the drivers that. Yeah. That's what I've got to do. Note to self. Don't be sidetracked for half an hour in 2025. I'm turning Italian for 2025. Yeah. Intro to the channel next year, Italian national anthem. Da, 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 da. It's an absolute banger as well, because this is the other thing. If Antonelli wins, we get Italian national anthem, and it's an absolute banger. You know what I mean? Compared to ours. It's boring as all sin, that is. Whereas Italy, it's absolute tune. So I'm up for Italian national anthem next year. Definite. Bring it on. I'll come on a Italian flag like that. Antonelli. We're Antonelli. You need to sing the words. Do you know what, Barry? I have thought about that. I've already got on YouTube Italian national anthem lyrics. I'm ahead of it. I'm ahead of the game. Imagine I learn it, lyrics and all. Italia de morna. Imagine. Italia. Can you imagine that? That would be next level, wouldn't it? That. I might do it, Barry. That might be my homework over winter break. You know what I mean? Homework. Learn the Italian national anthem in Italian. I've had a look already, haven't I? Lyrics version. Karaoke. Italian national anthem karaoke. I'm already on it, Barry. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on that noise. Let's do it. You know, he asked me to think about something else you can do during the off-season because you didn't rate the F1 manager. It's just because it's... You know what I mean about F1 manager. It's not exactly a thrill a minute, is it? You didn't rate the F1 manager idea. What about doing the team series on the F1 game? Yeah, now that is a genuine option. I could do that, yeah. I wouldn't do it on the sim because the F1 game is like an arcade game. It's so that kids can pick it up and do a lap and not cry because they've hit the wall 17 times. They can do it. It's accessible. So it's not something you get on a simulator and play F1 game. Like, it's stupid. But with a pad, setting up my own team, create a driver, create your own team. Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna break world record. You know, it's not gonna hold the front page. He's doing an F1 career mode, but it's something to do. So that's on the table. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. So we'll see. What should I call it? Gav Highlights F1 team or what? Or do we do like... Yeah, because that's the thing. What do we call the team, innit? I'll have to think of something. I don't know. Well, it's an idea, that, Gav. Anto Spaghetti. Barry, get on the hype train, lad. Barry, who's going Antonelli next season? Come on, guys. Dougie's going Behrman, it's more of a sensible decision, that, because one, he's British, so you're supporting your own, which I never subscribed to that, but I understand it. He's already kind of proven himself, Ollie Behrman, as well. He's jumped in a Ferrari at last minute's notice and got like a P7, or was it? P6 in Saudi Arabia. And then he's had a race for Haas as well this year and done well. So Ollie Behrman is a known quantity. He's looking good. Antonelli, in his go in a Formula One car, Antonelli went fastest in his first ever lap and then smashed it in the wall in his second lap. And that's when I signed up. When Antonelli jumped in a Formula One car and on his first lap went quickest, and then second lap smashed it up and cost him 10 million quid, I went, yeah, this is a bit of me, this. This is a bit of me, this. But it's always better to have a driver that you have to rein in and say, whoa, chill out, than it is to try and speed someone up. If someone starts off a bit sluggish and you try to speed them up and go, oh, you can be a bit braver, you go on, go for it, then it's always going to be a bit of a struggle. But if someone's absolutely rapid and they're crashing and it's chaos, and then you have to go, whoa, 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 just chill. That's the better way around. And I hope and I think that Antonelli is going to be that way around. It might be Larry at the beginning. I hope it is. Quite honestly, I hope it is Larry in the beginning. I hope it is an Australia, he's round the outside of Verstappen, but then he's in the gravel. I hope he sends it. And be what may. I hope that if he's just like, oh, he's had a sensible race and finished 9th, then come on. I don't want that. I want round the outside of Verstappen and then in the gravel. And then, I want a first half of the season that is all over the place. He wins one and then he's in the wall and then he wins another one and then he's controversy and then he's pushed someone off the circuit and then he's crashed it and then he wins another one. That's what I want. I want chaos, carnage, controversy and entertainment from Antonelli. That's what I'm signing up for. Racing or GP. We've got to have something fun, Gav. Something fun. Gav highlights GP. do like a spin the wheel and whoever it lands on and name the team after them. I mean, Barry F1 team. Like that sounds funny as well, doesn't it? Barry GP. Something like that. Stockport County. I think you're on the wrong stream, Dan. No, they get through, didn't they? They got through. It depends. You can't go all out in the gravel. You need to get back to racing. You can't go all out in the gravel. You need back-to-back racing pace. Yeah, no, Barry, but I want the chaos. I want to see him go for it. Right, anyway, Q3. We've already talked over the first 5 minutes of it, but we'll have a look now because it's getting into laps that actually matter. Hamilton's gone third. So in the first dibs in Q3 then, Russell fastest from Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Piastri, Magnussen, Perez, and Alonso, Norris and Verstappen haven't set a lap yet in Q3. But Barry, you can go all out. I want him to go all out. That's what I want to see. When Lewis Hamilton turned up in 2007, did he go all out? Yes, he did. In the very first, bear in mind, a prefect to this is Fernando Alonso's defending world champion, right? He's at the top of his game. He's come off the back of 2 world championships at Renault, goes to McLaren. Anyway, Hamilton turns up as a rookie. What does Hamilton do? The very first corner of his career against double world champion Fernando Alonso. Goes round the outside of him. Puts a mad one on him. Goes round the outside, says, yeah, I'm here now. It's me now. It's me. That's the kind of smoke I want from Kimi Antonelli. Balls to the wall. All or nothing. And then, as the season goes on, the team tell him, listen, just dial it back to 9, and then he starts to mature, and then by the end of the season, it's solid results. Up there with George Russell, because George Russell probably beat him in the first season. I'm not deluded. You know what I mean? George Russell should beat him. If not, then we have backed the right horse. But you know, I would just he's only going to be 18 years old. We'll see, innit? It's all about believing the car because some are shy. Well, yeah. It is as well. I also like that with Antonelli, they're just sticking him in at the deep end as well, in a car that potentially could be the fastest on the grid as well. That's a big chunk of it as well. It's like straight in at the deep end, which is not a very common thing at all. There's not many drivers come up from Formula 2 and get put in a top team straight away. Piastri's done it, but Piastri had a year on the sidelines, but Piastri's done it. At the start of the season, you was going to be a Hamilton Ferrari fanboy. Now by the end of the season, you're going to be an Antonelli fanboy. Scenarios change, don't they, Gav? At the start of the season, you're probably thinking you're going to win the league. Now you're going for top 4. Situations change, Gav. In fact, my support next year goes Antonelli and then Ferrari. Yeah. Because the Hamilton-Leclerc thing, that is good. That is good. I wouldn't mind seeing Lewis Hamilton do well. You know, I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. I would enjoy that. But I'd like to see Antonelli beat the pair of them anyway. Right. Come on, guys. Let's get a crescendo to the end of quali here. What are we doing going round at 30 mile an hour, guys? What are they doing? They're all going around at 30 mile an hour. They binned it off. I thought he was going to get relegated after our manager. Well, yeah. But the point still stands. As the situation changes, your opinion changes. I didn't think that Mercedes would take the gamble of sticking Antonelli in. I was hoping that they would go for that. I think I probably did a stream at the beginning of the season saying, imagine if Mercedes go for Antonelli, you know what I mean? That'd be amazing, but of course it won't happen. Then when it did, it's like, I'm on board with it. I love it. It's a risk. It's a gamble. And do you know why Toto Wolff, just quickly before this gets interesting, do you know why Mercedes have done it as well? Because Toto Wolff, who's Mercedes' boss, lost out on signing Verstappen in their junior days, right? And Red Bull jumped in and took Verstappen, and now look. So Mercedes didn't want to lose Antonelli. So it's like, oh, what do we do with Antonelli? Well, we're under pressure here. If we don't put him in, someone else will put him in. So we don't want to lose twice. We already lost Max Verstappen 10 years ago. Let's not let history repeat itself. Let's back Antonelli, take the gamble and do it. And so that's what Toto Wolff's decided to do. We're going for it. And I have to respect that. I love it. And I'm in. Anyway, a minute to go in Q3. These are the laps that are going to set the grid for the Qatar Grand Prix tomorrow. Do you think he could actually push for a title? I'm not religious, but imagine if he does, Gav. I'll be swinging from the rooftops. Probably not, Gav. He's 18, but if he's on pole in Australia, you better be here for the Australian Grand Prix, is all I'm saying. I can't wait. Honestly. I can't wait, Gav. Get on the hype train with me. Come on. Italian kid, 18 years of age. Come on. He's going to be rapid. It's going to be exciting. It's what the sport needs. Right, what are Ferrari doing to challenge? At the moment, it's Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc. But that's all about to change, or is it? Here we go then. Sainz across the line doesn't improve. 5th at best for Carlos Sainz. They're all going yellow middle sector. I think the track's had its best days here. Leclerc comes across the line. 3rd, stays 3rd. So it's between Russell and Verstappen. There's only 45,000 of a second between them. Piastri goes third. Here comes Lando Norris across the line. What can Norris do? Third. So it is between Russell and Verstappen then for pole position at the Qatar Grand Prix. Verstappen's gone purple first sector. It is Verstappen versus Russell. Can Max do it? The newly crowned 4-time world champion, and Verstappen takes pole position in Qatar. Maximilian Verstappen, the 4-time reigning world champion, takes pole position. A 1 minute 20.520 by 55 1,000ths of a second, beats George Russell. Then it's a McLaren 3-4, Norris and Piastri. Then it's Leclerc 5th, Hamilton 6th, Sainz 7th, Alonso 8th, Perez 9th, and Kevin Magnussen 10th. That is your grid for the Qatar Grand Prix tomorrow. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Listen, I've been sidetracked for an hour. It's been a bit of a more of a chilled one. But really, it's the end of each session that's important. The first, in a 12-minute session, the first 10 minutes, it's all about the last 2 minutes. Anyway. But do join me for the race tomorrow. I'll be live about 3:45 for a 4 p.m. start for the Qatar Grand Prix. So do join me for that. Will it be the Luke Littler of F1? Well, that's what I'm hoping for, Lisa. You know, you can hope, can't you? Yeah, Luke Littler's turned up, bang, up there with the best of him off the bat, innit? It's like, yeah, kind of. Except for he's not. He's not British. I was going to say other things. Not a takeaway eating. Anyway, a bit more athletic than Luke Littler. But the same kind of vibe is what I'm hoping for in terms of turns up and makes waves, you know? That's what I'm hoping for. Can't you tomorrow all? What do you mean? Hang on. I missed a few messages in chat. Thought you were going to get relegated. Over the years, go-karts led to F1, F2. Now it's different. No, it still does. It's go-karts, then like European Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1, race win, World Championship, greatest of all time, retire, feet up, job done. That's how it goes, bro. Yeah, Norris. You're on it. Yes, Gav. Go on, Gav. Gav's on the Antonelli train. Come on. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I wouldn't get that strong with it, but Norris ain't my cup of tea. Anyway, we've got the outro playing. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon, about 3:45 for the Qatar Grand Prix. But Mercedes will put him under pressure, but that's what I want. You need the pressure to bring out the greatness in an athlete. You need the pressure. You're all right starting at a team at the back, finishing 18th. You learn your trade, but if you jump into the deep end, sink or swim. So it's sink or swim for Antonelli. That's what I love about it. But yeah, cheers. Catch you all tomorrow. Like I say, 3:45. Make sure you do type a message in live chat for that one. Gets you on the grid for round 23 of the Viewers Championship. Also, Kim only has to beat Todd. It's near enough as simple as that. If Kim beats Todd on Monday night in the Viewers Championship, she will be the Viewers Champion of 2024. So do join me for that. And peace out for now. And hope you enjoyed the stream, even though it was just a chill and a chat and a waffle. But cheers. Catch you for the race tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. And goodbye.